I am from Sweden, so English is my... Oh, it's not my primary language, so bear with me if I do any mistakes, but shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. And also shoutouts to Matthew for the restream. And yeah, both of these guys have a PB that is a 122. Akisto is third place on the leaderboards with a 122.38, while Seathorne have a 122.48. So it's just 10 seconds between their PBs. And I'm not too sure about Seathorne, but I know that Akisto usually does quite well in both races and marathon runs. So I'm expecting a good race from him, and I wouldn't expect anything less from Seathorne either.
Ready to work.
And it seems like we are off. So something that's going to be unfortunate about this race is that if you have followed the 96 exits at all, you know that Akisto is not doing the same route as most other runners. So we will probably not be able to compare these runners until we reach the very end of the run. But I will do my best with keeping up with their execution to kind of be able to tell who is ahead or not. Because what will happen is that Akisto is going to go as quickly as he can to Forest Evolution and then to Valley of Bowser. And after that, go into Star World. While Seathorne is probably going to do the more standard route and going to Star World and Special World through Soda Lake. There's not too much that's gonna happen in World 1. Runners of this caliber, I don't expect them to miss anything in this world really. What we can watch for is if they go for the shell jump in the next level, Y4, which isn't a big deal to miss. Like, it doesn't say much, but still something that can give you a small edge at the start of the run. And you know, shell jumps are always nice to see. That little bit of extra swag in the run. And it's coming up here, and no. Both runners just destroy the shells to reduce lag, which is the best strategy to go for if you're not attempting the shell jump. We are going into Iggy's Castle, where, like, I don't think that we're gonna see anything special from these runners. Since it's a race and 96 exits, yeah, none of them went for under ball or a P-switch jump or anything like that. But there are some strats that are faster in this castle that you can go for, but those are really risky. So now we're just gonna sit through this auto-scroller section and then do a quick kill of Iggy, and we're gonna be on to Donut Plains, where you can say that the run actually starts. That is when the first difficult levels comes, or at least the levels that require some more difficult execution to do perfectly.
This is the moment when none of us can take a shit, because my ass is sealed tight right now.
Yeah, I can say that this is our first quarterfinal match in this tournament. So the winner of this race will advance to the semifinals and be one of our top 4 runners for this first Super Mario World Community 96 Exit tournament. Oh, I did not hear it, but I'm gonna say that Akisto have had his split sounds on. Which is probably what you guys heard. It seems like Akisto is about a second ahead of Seathorne. And what? Like, it's always nice to be ahead, but at this early stage, you can't really say that he has too big of an advantage anyway. Aki's having a little bit of difficulties entering the pipe though. So now they are dead even again. Sorry if you guys heard my phone. You hopefully didn't. Seaphone going for a bit safer strats for the ghost house. While Akisto goes for the normal RTA strats, which is a bit faster, but if you mess it up, then you can either lose cape or you just have to do the safer strat as a backup. But both runners are at least doing the same routes through World 2. So we're going to see wings and clips at the same time from both runners. And after that is when Akisto is gonna go on his different route. A lot better pipe entry from Akisto this time. Textbook examples of the dry room from both runners. Akisto really close to a 58, and Seathorne as well. Really good second exits by both runners. I wonder if any of these runners are gonna go for the normal flight strat in the next room. Or the second exit, that is. But yeah, beautifully done first exits in the ghost house by both of the runners. The boo fight is really easy, so as long as none of them just pick up too many blocks and fall through the floor, I don't expect any one of them to gain or lose time in here. There have been unfortunate situations where runners accidentally have picked up too many blocks underneath them and just fallen through to the death. But that's not something that happens too often. Yeah, Akisto going for the more traditional strat and Seathorne as well. A lot of people, well, a few of the top runners have recently started using a quicker strat for that second exit, where they cape cancel in the boo ring instead of going above it. But I do not disagree with the choice of going for the safest strats, especially for a race. And then now we have basically done all of the interesting stuff in World 2 apart from Mortal's Castle. Just a few flyovers until we reach the castle. And oh, Seathorne losing flight on the pipe, not being high enough. Regains flight really nicely though, so didn't lose too much time. You can see on the timer that he lost 4 in-game seconds from that mistake. And I say in-game seconds because the seconds in-game is faster than the actual second. So yeah, Akisto have managed to get a small lead, but it's still close enough that any mistake would put Seathorne back into lead. I do not expect to see any lead change until at least they attempt wings in VD1. So we're gonna see both runners pick up Yoshi in this level. Just hopefully quick and easy, floating down, activating the block, and then bounce out of a Goomba. And that is the Yoshi they're gonna use for VD1 and VD2. And as expected, no problems from either runner. And they're doing Mortal Flight at the moment. And Akisto grabs the shell, grabs the spring without any difficulties. Seathorne as well. So yeah, both of them are gonna have really good modern castles. I'm actually not sure what the Super NT is, but pretty much all emulators are allowed for Super Mario World speedruns. And yeah, already done with the first 2 worlds of the run. And now we're going into the more interesting stuff, starting off with wings. Akisto is with a small lead, and we will see if wings will make Seathorne catch up a bit, or how it's gonna go. You can both gain and lose a lot of time in this level, as well as in the next level. Great first cube from Akisto. For Seathorne as well. Both of them going for fast starts. Akisto, both of them having some difficulties with the second cube, which is luck based. You both need to do it correctly and have luck on your side. Ooh, Akisto losing cape. But still gets the wings. That lost him a lot of time though, and even though Seathorne didn't have perfect wings, he's now in the lead. And Seathorne is now attempting Yoshi clips. And oh, that's right. Since Akisto lost his cape, he can't attempt a Yoshi clip. Because inside the wall there is no water. So if you don't have the cape, you will just fall to your death. You have to have the cape and float down and dismount Yoshi underneath when you're further on. So that is gonna lose Akisto more time than what it was already behind. And oh, Akisto, that's a bad mistake. Falling down there and having to redo the whole thing. And losing his cape again. This is so sad. Meanwhile, Seathorne gets a jump. Akisto chooses to go for the normal exits. Can't say that I blame him, but yeah, that's a lot slower than what I wanted it to be. So yeah, Akisto is really struggling at the moment. Hopefully he can avoid getting tilted by it and just continue. Meanwhile, Seathorne is getting sticky flights. And even though Seathorne is ahead, he haven't had the perfect start. His both the wings and the clips weren't perfect, but it's Akisto have been struggling a lot more. And Akisto is actually going back all the way to top secret area to get Cape and Yoshi. I'm going to assume that he's going to attempt the clips again. But just going all the way back here loses a lot of time. Yeah, even though it's early in the race, I'm gonna say that without Seathorne doing any big mistakes, Akisto will have big difficulties on catching up to him. But as I said at the start, we will not be able to compare the runners from now on until pretty much the end of the run, considering that they are doing completely opposite routes. Let's see how Seathorne is going to handle VD3. He did not stick to the slope, but still gets the backup flight for the second draft. Meanwhile, Akisto is struggling a bit with the Yoshi clips, not getting inside the wall. He finally gets it and didn't struggle with the subpixel, but clips for it. Yes, Shady. Akisto lost Cape and couldn't do Yoshi clips, and then had to go back for Yoshi and Cape, and yeah. He's basically just backing it up as good as he can. Seathorne opted to not go for raw skip, but instead went for a safer version of it, which most runners would do in races. Akisto is now going to attempt red block thing, and I know that the name isn't really descriptive, but let's see if he gets it. And he does. He kept flight up on the red block, like underneath the pipe on the red block, and flying up all the way up to the keyhole. Now, Vanilla Secret 1 isn't as easy as Akisto makes it seem. It's actually quite easy to mess up and not have your flight or miss the shell. And you need the shell and the flight to go as quick as possible. Meanwhile, let's hope that Magikarp is nice to Seathorne and not going to spawn in his way. And he was nowhere near him, so nicely done by Seathorne. And this second section is not anything that I would expect him to fail. Ever, pretty much. Meanwhile, Akisto got both of the exits in Vanilla Secret 1 really nicely. So hopefully he's able to forget about the mistakes he did in Vanilla Dome 2 and the K Plus in Vanilla Dome 1. The Lemmy spawns aren't too nice to Seathorne, but he's still able to do it. Didn't lose any power-ups. And I'm not sure if that was a wall clip or not, but manages to stay in the top corner for the cutscene. Meanwhile, Akisto is probably in the most boring section of the run. 2 flyovers, a water fort, a auto-scroller, and a flyover again. So I'm gonna spend most of my attention on Seathorne. And just keep an eye on Akisto and see and hope that he doesn't do any mistakes. And yeah, at the moment Seathorne was doing one of the easiest levels in the run, where pretty much all you have to do is jump, hold Y and hold B. And hold right, of course. And you will bounce perfectly on the sauce and get to the Yoshi Wings. Seathorne chose to not go for Cookie Mountain boss kill, which I don't blame him for. It's a really difficult strat where you spawn a Koopaling and kill him to end the level quickly. But as I said, it's difficult to do, so in a race I'm not surprised that he chose to not do it. Akisto was really close to getting hit by a fireball from the Reznor. But thankfully the hitbox of the fireballs aren't as big as they look. And they actually just have the hitbox of the small fireballs that Mario can shoot. And because of that it looked like Akisto was getting hit, but he managed to avoid it. Akisto is now in the longest level of the game, and in my opinion the most boring as well. A 2-minute auto-scroller where the main objective is focus enough so you don't die. Seathorne is going into Soda Lake, a level that's it is possible to lose cape in, but it should go fairly easy for him. He's choosing to not swim under the level and instead swimming over it, which is maybe a bit more unsafe, but it's really not bad. So hopefully and probably we're just gonna see Seathorne swim through this without any difficulties. Yeah, Seathorne just managed to get through the section where it's easiest to lose cape in this level, and he got it. Was really close to getting the 26 pipe. And meanwhile Akisto is doing some swag in Other Bridge 1, spawning a wine block by duping it sideways. And Seathorne is now off to Star World, where all of the levels have 2 exits, both a secret one and a normal exit. But yeah, most of the Star World is fairly easy. But there is a level coming up, which is Star World 1, where you're supposed to try and zip through some turn blocks, and that can be tricky. Sorry, Cruz, I tried to link the bracket to you, but I guess I'm not allowed to. And I don't think we have any mods in chat at the moment. But yeah, if you go to shalong.com/96_exit, you will get to the bracket for this tournament. Meanwhile, Akisto is doing Ludwig's Castle really nicely. No difficulties with the first room, switching to Fire Flower and getting through the second room. And really nice climb as well. It was a really good castle by him. Seathorne manages to fly under Starwald 4. Does not manage to do a Truman and not get up on the platform where the key is. Seathorne is currently ahead. Akisto had some really bad mistakes in World 3 and lost a lot of time. And as long as Seathorne doesn't do any big mistakes, he's going to stay ahead. But there's still a lot of the race left. There is especially, like, there are plenty of levels that C could do mistakes in that could cost him a lot of time. It's difficult to say how far ahead Seathorne is, just because they are doing different routes. So we won't know how far ahead he is until the very end of the run. But it is by a significant margin. Seathorne is struggling a bit with the sips. Really not too bad, but it's not as good as he wanted it to be. 65 sips though is still really good. And I think that most runners would take those without any hesitation. He's now going to enter the level again and go for the secret exits. And hopefully get both of the sips perfectly. Meanwhile, Akisto gonna attempt the Yoshi clips again. For the second time in the run. Doesn't get into the wall the first time. Better execution and good luck on the second try. It's really nice to see that he got the left side clip. And if you didn't know, even if you do everything perfectly for that sip, for the Yoshi clips, there is still a small chance that you're not gonna get in. And that's just up to the game. You can't do anything about it. Now let's see if Akisto is gonna manage to get a jump in this Switch Palace. His second try of the run. And no. Also, I think I've missed to say it that when Akisto got it, but he went for Forest Evolution 1 wings. And I'm fairly sure that he managed to get them. Meanwhile, Seathorne is just finishing off Star World. Will soon go into Special World, which have a lot of nice tricks. I don't know which strats he's going to go for, but he is definitely going to go for wings in both Gnarly and Tubular, which are the two first levels of Special World. Steven and Truman is going to race in 2 days, I believe. And it's going to be like at 3 AM for me, which should be like at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Seathorne gets the quad dupe, which is really nice. He manages to drop the shell in the little gap on the platform, but apart from that, those wings were perfect. Now he's going to attempt wings in tubular, which is a bit different. You're using the P-switch and putting it between the block and the pipe. There he gets it, so you just need to scroll. Meanwhile, Akisto got the left side clips again. He needs the P-switch to move to the right, and now he got it. So yeah, Akisto had the second try clip both times, which isn't the best, but it's still good. Doesn't lose too much time to get it second try, especially when you're going for left side. Now in the level coming up for Seathorne, I'm not sure if he's gonna go for the new strat called Awesome Rest No Kill, or if he's going to do the old standard strats. If he is going for the Rest No Kill, you have a treat in front of you. That strat means that you're going to spawn a Resnor boss and eat it with Yoshi, even though it's invisible, and then the level finishes. And it seems like he's going for it. He missed the 5-5 though, so he can't attempt it. That's too bad.
What's up everybody? How's it going?
Welcome, Ben.
How's this race going?
Akisto had some really bad mistakes in Vanilla Dome, so he's quite a bit behind.
I was hoping it would probably be really close or whatever when I got back, but yeah, sorry that I'm so late. I said to Matthew that I would jump in and take his place if he was covering, but yeah, you seem to be doing a really good job as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Just now that we were talking,
you can even take it by yourself if you want. Sorry, I just got in here as soon as I got back. I'm a bit late, but
you can stay. That's fine with me.
Sure, you can even take the lead. Again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What you just missed was that Seathorne lost both Yoshi and Cape in Awesome.
Oh wow.
So he's not going to go for GBK, Groovy Boss Kill. Instead he's going to collect the Cape and fly over the level with Yoshi. He's struggling a bit with getting the blue shell, which he needs to be able to fly, since his Yoshi is now green and not blue.
Do you think something like this could make it close, or was it pretty disastrous?
What happened to Akisto was that he lost Cape doing VD1 wings. So
did he get the wings?
He got the wings, but he entered VD2 without Cape and couldn't go for the clip.
Oh, of course.
Then he lost Yoshi and Cape again.
Oh, coming out of World 3?
Went back to top secret area to get both Cape and Yoshi, so
oh damn.
It lost a lot of time.
Well, I don't know, hopefully he can push that to the back of his mind and just inspire himself to do something amazing that we all know that he can do.
Seathorne is going for fast mono and gets it. That's a lot
really
tighter
nice.
and a lot more difficult than it looks like.
Yeah, I think that fast mondo always looks very impressive. It does look like quite a tight window. Especially as well, if you go into the water after missing that, your P speed is dead and you're losing a bunch of time. And of course we're on the completely different routes as well. Literally just realizing that, I was thinking, yeah, the difference couldn't be this much, where it's... Well, of course Akisto's in forest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, since Akisto went to top 6 area, he has also done a few exits, which he normally wouldn't have done. So it's even more difficult to tell how far apart they are.
Interesting. You, Marcelo, what's up? A big thanks again to Matthew for the restream, and I'm not sure if Matthew was in here earlier helping out with the commentary. Not 100% sure. But yeah, big thanks again to Matthew.
I'm going to just get a link for the Discord for the person in chat that asked.
UTM, is that true? Do we have that link? Is discord.me/smw the link to our Discord?
Oh, true. I already forgot that I'm not allowed to post links in.
I'll repost it, I guess. I'll try and get that sorted at some point. There were an issue with links in here, just from randos, but suppose there might be something to get around that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because we couldn't link the bracket before either, because the
Ooh,
commands are
my
not
bad.
updated.
Oh yeah, I believe the bracket is fully updated. I verified the runs last night.
Yeah, but the
before-
commands aren't updated in the chat.
Oh,
So it's the incorrect brackets.
oh, sorry. I thought that was okay. My bad. I'll work on that. Sorry, I'll let you get back to it.
Yeah, and just meanwhile we are fixing this, Seathorne is finishing up a special wall, and we'll now go into the most boring section of the run, which Akisto have already done. So let's point our attention to Akisto instead. He's going to fly through this level and then fly through Forest Evolution 3. After that, he's going to go for Roy flights, which looks scary, but really isn't as difficult as it seems. But if you do a mistake, you're probably dead. Akisto, of course, getting the dirty bubble, which is getting flights before that first bubble with the cannonball in Forest Evolution 3. Also, we're now gonna see Seathorne attempt a jump again. He managed to get the first jump in the first Switch Palace, and hopefully he can do the same here. But no, sadly not. So yeah, Akisto is now going into the Roy flights. Oh, Roy's castle, where he's going to attempt Roy flights. He's going to dive bomb underneath some Podoboos here. And beautifully done. He's now also going to try and keep flights through the last section. Which, since he is doing this route, he hasn't done the Green Switch Palace yet. Which makes it a bit easier to keep flights through all of that. If you have done the Green Switch Palace, you will have a block in your way that you have to either fly under or over. And that can be a bit tricky. Well, TNT, if you miss the start of the race, Seathorne is quite a bit ahead. Akisto did some really bad mistakes in Vanilla Dome 1 and 2. Seathorne has done some minor mistakes, but he's on a pretty good run. Like, it's probably not on PB pace or anything, but he haven't done any major mistakes, so it's still a decently good run. And Akisto is now in Chocolate Island, the second to last world in the run, but in my opinion, the most fun world. There are quite a few interesting levels, and there's some difficult levels as well. So since Seathorne is just going through auto-scrollers and flyovers, more or less, I advise you to watch Akisto's stream and see him go through this Chocolate Island. In this ghost house, there is a invisible. Well, it's not invisible, but there's a pipe above the screen that you can't see. At about the middle of this first room, so you need to stay low enough to not bonk that pipe, while you still stay high enough to not get hit by fishing boo. Which he does, and loses his cape and his fire flower.
Oh,
And
dude,
Seathorne missing the jump.
unfortunate.
So I think that Akisto is gonna grab the mushroom, yeah, and do the no cape strat here. You can also
Yeah,
get
the
to
Upersound
this
strat
door.
is so too difficult.
Yeah. Like you can get to that door without the mushroom and doing the small only strat. But it's a lot easier to doing it with the mushroom. And also thank you, Ben, for fixing all of the commands.
Yeah, no worries. I should have had it done before I left. I thought I had, but maybe it just didn't update or something. We had issues with it in the past. Looks like Akisto is going to be grabbing this cape first, even though this will be the other exit. Or, well, I suppose he can grab this for free, but he might take the other exit, I believe.
I think that Akisto is going to do the normal exit and just take like 1 or 2 second time loss in the overworld.
Yeah, because it would take more than like 2 or 3 seconds to grab those coins. But yeah, that was a nice backup from Akisto.
So what Akisto wanted to do otherwise was getting the secret exit here now and getting the normal exit on the second time through. But since you can get 2 capes in this level easily, he chose to do it this way to not lose too much time. And it's right, with Akisto's routes, you can't get 2 cape easily. So, but 1 cape is what's important, so that is why you went here.
Meanwhile, Seathorne is nearly finished up with World 2, and doesn't actually seem to be on that bad a pace. Probably can still get 124, maybe even 123 at this point.
Yeah, I would still say that he's able to get 123 this round. You haven't done any major mistakes.
I think I just came back at a bad time seeing him lose cape and everything, but it does seem like a good run, like you say.
He had some difficulties with the Yoshi clip in VD2. Not the best of luck, and not the fastest swings in VD1.
Yeah, I believe Seathorne had issues with VD2 last time where he got insanely unlucky, something like 1 in 16. That sounds right, 1 in 16 or 1 in 64, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 times.
If I remember correctly, it was 1 in 64.
Yeah.
And he gets red.
I always couldn't admit it to myself, you know.
And now Akisto is going back for the secret exit for Chocolate Island 2. Seathorne as well gets Vanilla Secret 1 to look easy. Doing it perfectly done.
We will see, does Akisto go for the Steven strat?
I don't think he does. He has his own strat.
Ooh. I wonder if that cape flight would always get rid of that football, whether that's an issue. I imagine because Akisto is a top player, he has something that's 100%. That's interesting.
Yeah, I've seen other runners go for that strat as well, so I'm gonna say that it's consistent. But I would still say that the Steven strat is easier.
Yeah. I mean, as long as that frame rail's good for the cape, that's your main thing. Again, it does look. Oh dear. Okay, top left.
Yeah. Akisto turning back in the air for a little bit, but manages to turn around again and go the right way. And for Seathorne, he's just going to fly over these levels and have a water scroller and a water fort.
So yeah, coming into this match. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep, go.
I was just going to say, coming into this match, this one seemed like one of the best matchups in terms of high-profile players and people who do really, really well in races. I mean, Akisto is one of the best racers out there, I would argue, and Seathorne as well. I've always said that about him. So, I mean, coming into this, I think this was insanely close. Although I have to admit, I think I was actually leaning towards Akisto for this one. Like, he just played so well last time.
Yeah, but with Akisto recently getting a 122 38 for its new PP, and just a track record Akisto have in marathon runs and races, I did think that he had the upper hand against Seathorne, but it was really close.
I mean, I think if both of them were just matched equally RTA, I do think it's insanely close. Maybe I would lean towards Seathorne, but in such a high-profile match, I thought Akisto might have the mentality whereby Seathorne, could be nervous at going up against someone like Akisto, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to come together yet. We might see some stuff happen.
Since Akisto is Swedish and I'm Swedish, that might influence me on which way I'm
Oh
leaning.
well. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's an interesting one for sure.
And Akisto is having a almost perfect room 1 in Choco Fort. One of the more difficult strats in Drum, keeping your flight through that first room.
It was starting to come together there, but unfortunately the pencils kind of sucked him in. A little unfortunate.
And
Not think that would be a good match.
Since Akisto managed to do the fort strat as it's supposed to be, the Reznor will always be nice to him and barely shoot any fireballs at all. That's really nice for the Choco Fort. That's not the case for the other fortresses.
Well, if Shady to balance it, I won't reveal my biases. Wait, that doesn't work. No, I'm only joking. I just wanted a close match. That was my bias.
Ben is on Team Super Marvel Community, while I'm on Team Sweden. Really nice Chocolate Island 4 from Akisto as well, keeping that flight and the flight speed through all of it. Do you expect Seathorne to go for any swag in this BB1? I'm gonna say that Ben disappeared, so let's just see if we get an answer to that question. He keeps the shell, so yes, I do expect him to at least attempt some swag. Meanwhile, Akisto is going to finish off Chocolate Island with Wendy's Castle, which is a really fun level to play and looks kind of interesting. He's going to attempt a Crusher skip on the first Crusher, well, the second Crusher technically. And then the second room has some quite tight movements to keep your flight through it. He gets the Crusher skip without any difficulties. And let's see how the second room goes. Manages to keep the flight through the tight section. And yeah, as expected, no difficulties for Akisto. And to answer Ben's question in chat, it might take a while because I have to prepare for a move. So I'm not really gonna have too much time in the coming days to get a 127. But yeah, Akisto is now going to enter the Sunken Ghost ship, which and like to end the level you need to collect an orb. And I just want to prepare everyone to lower your volume before Ben unmutes his mic and says orb. Seathorne is entering Ludwig's castle. I think that he as well is going to swap to Flower in the second room. Which a lot of people think that switching to Fireflower makes the second room safer, more consistent. And it might very well be true. Doesn't lose more than a few frames either, if I remember correctly, so not a bad idea if you're struggling with using the cape in that room. Also, the reason for why they switched to the Fireflower in the boss fights is that instead of having to jump on the boss 3 times, you can shoot 2 fireballs and then do 1 jump, and that will kill him a lot faster. And especially for Ludwig, you skip the animation of him rolling around on the ground. And yeah, if you haven't done it already, be ready to turn down your volume, because Ben is soon going to go for an orb.
Orb.
Oh, Seathorne chooses to not switch to Cape in the Ludwig fight. But he knows it's no Cape strats, so no difficulties at all getting Yoshi and keeping P speed anyway. So he's now going to attempt Forced Evolution 2 Wings. And gets its first try. Really, really nice. First Evolution 1 by Seathorne. And he's now going to have to do Yoshi Clips. And hopefully the luck will be with him. Gets inside the wall and gets the clip. Nicely done. Perfect execution and good luck. Exactly how a speedrunner wants it. So yeah, we are nearing the point where Akisto is going to enter Star World and Special World. Parts that Seathorne already have done. So that is the advantage of Akisto routes. You get to this part of the game earlier. It's mainly for the forest, but this is a byproduct of doing forest early. And Akisto is attempting to set up a door flight, and he gets it. So now he needs to keep his flight until the next door, not hitting any boost. And nicely done. Saves a few seconds to hitting the P switch, which you're supposed to do. And Akisto now entering Larry's castle. One of the most difficult levels execution-wise in the run.
Yeah, this room too is very impressive whenever done optimally.
So yeah, keeping your flight through all of that is really difficult.
It's a bit unfortunate to drop it there.
Yeah. That's not usually where you mess it up, but
Yeah.
all of it is difficult to do, so I'm not too surprised. At least Magikupa was nice to him. Seathorne is now going to go back to First Evolution 2 and do the Yoshi clips a second time. Hopefully he gets his first try, just as he did last time. Looks good, gets inside the wall and gets it. So, as I said, both times he had perfect execution and good luck. So, since he got the first try wings as well, this is a really good 4 segment so far for Seathorne. And I would say that I'm still sure that he's ahead of Akisto by at least a minute. Akisto have been playing quite well after his big mistakes, but Seathorne has just not done big enough mistakes for Akisto to be able to catch up yet.
Yeah, it's certainly not over yet. A couple of big things still to come for Seathorne. Probably isn't too much left. It's too bad for Akisto though.
Well, Akisto have all of special left.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I was actually thinking after special, but yeah, special is really difficult. Never mind, just ignore what I said. Yeah, Akisto's gonna have to do well in spec. Whoa, Link Dead with the massive raid. Holy
Yes.
crap!
Welcome everybody.
Wow, you guys are just in time.
Hope you will enjoy the race of the category that Link that used to have the world record in,
That's
as
very
he have with most of the categories in Super Mario World.
feels like a long time ago now.
Yeah, it's quite a long time ago, so. But yeah, for
Yeah.
all of you that are new here, Seathorne is in the lead, even though it's difficult to tell since they are doing different routes. In Vanilla Dome, Akisto had some big mistakes and lost quite a lot of time. So Seathorne is still ahead by at least a minute, maybe more.
Very nice pyramid. Also exclamation mark bracket. Well, to see the bracket, and exclamation mark schedule to see any upcoming matches as well.
Also, I think that butt emote from LinkedIn is quite new because I haven't seen it too much before. I think I saw it yesterday
Yeah,
for the first time.
I think you're right. I've only started seeing that in the last couple of days. Pretty popular. Also, kind of like the Fugumanen. That emote I've been seeing everywhere. I believe that's possibly Eldad as well.
Okay, so it's now going to go for sips. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, misses the first sip on the right side.
Oh,
Trying
there it
sip
is.
on the right side instead of the left side is actually more difficult.
Yeah, right, are the right zips. Well, people say they're more tricky. I believe it's true, although I do tend to get them a bit more. Probably just because that's what I practice now.
And yeah, you will see Akisto do a little bit of a different route in Star World compared to Seathorne. Because he's going to grab Yellow Yoshi in Star World 5. So he doesn't need to
yeah.
keep this blue Yoshi from the water level Star World 2. So he has no reason to feed and keep blue Yoshi here.
There's something different about Akisto's route that kind like, does it either make Yellow Yoshi like you have to do it or easier? I can't remember. I know there's some sort of
You don't
difference.
have to do it, but you save more time by doing it.
Oh, you save more time than normal? Ah. I knew there was something. You're welcome, everybody, again. There's TNT in chat, the person who annihilated me with the 124. And we will have TNT versus Louis coming up pretty soon as well. Another very big match.
That race is coming up directly after this one, right?
I think so, yeah. I wasn't specific there because I don't have the calendar in front of me, but I think it might be, yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh wow, like literally right after. My goodness. Okay, well, that is a big one, yeah.
And Matthew,
didn't
do not
realize
have to
this
worry,
season,
you are
though.
correct with the jump counter. Akisto struggling a bit again with sips. Not going quite as well as I want him to. Gets the second sip really nicely though. So yeah, Akisto is still going to get a
Ooh.
good pipe time in Star Wars 1. I think Seathorne had a 265, so he lost like 3 in-game seconds compared to Seathorne.
My goodness, oh my word, Seathorne so close to being in the lava there. Got a really glitchy platform, and honestly, he was quite sheepish about that fight to the point where I was wondering whether that was going to cause him to trip up, but getting very low. Oh, I'm sure he's taken a big sigh of relief anyway.
And for those that haven't seen it, Akisto is now going to demonstrate Yellow Yoshi for you. Where you grab Yellow Yoshi in this level and then feed him to have a Yoshi for Gnarly.
Oh my goodness, Seathorne, what are you doing?
Missing
Somehow
to
I
get
missed
the backup
the
cape.
That was...
I'm going to expect Seathorne now to go through this without a cape and then grab a cape in Forest Evolution 2 before going to Forest Evolution 3. Because you absolutely need a cape before... Oh, that pipe leads you backwards, Seathorne.
Yeah, he clearly didn't mean to press down there.
That is the Orbian pipe that I have not seen anyone go through in a long time.
I'll be honest, this is some of the biggest spaghetti I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it or describe it, you know.
Yeah, like, you should never go down that pipe. And it's one of the few pipes in the game that actually takes you backwards. So it loses even more time than a regular pipe.
Yeah, Akisto with a pretty big opportunity now. Wow, Seathorne really trying, really trying quite hard to make this interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I
and
said it, but
Akisto is getting super duper unlucky here.
as Sniper is saying,
getting a bit of a reprieve. My goodness.
the pipe that Seathorne went through is the worst pipe to go through in the entire game. It's the slowest pipe. And yeah,
Okay.
Seathorne did get cape in F5 too.
Seathorne also not with fire. We're gonna lose like another 6 seconds or something from Roy. And I'm gonna make a call here, and based on what you were saying earlier, I think Seathorne has a lead of about probably less than 30 seconds. This is very close. I think this is back on.
Yeah, Akisto was struggling a bit more with tubular wings than Seathorne did, but I think that he have gained time in some of the other levels though, so this is...
Oh, well, like
this is
not just
probably
losing tape, but
close.
just he lost like a minute in that stage. Like, it was really quite
Yeah,
bad.
it was. So this is a lot more interesting suddenly.
Yeah.
Let's see how Roy
like,
fight goes for Seathorne.
Akisto as well doesn't have to grab that fire flower in Mondo. Or
Yeah,
not
he could
Mondo,
grab it if he wants to go
awesome.
for awesome rest no kill, but
Yeah.
I know that Akisto is going for more consistent strats than that, so never expect him to do it. I'm not sure if he's going for gnarly boss kill though.
Seathorne, like based on what happened, is still getting an okay Roy time. I mean, this Roy time isn't great, but based on what happened, this isn't bad.
Yeah, Seathorne had first try wings in a fight 1 and first try clips both times. So he had a really good start in the forest.
It'd be interesting. I wonder if Akisto has splits up on stream. If he does, we might actually be able to get an idea here.
And I missed that Akisto didn't actually grab a fire flower in awesome, so he couldn't go for gnarly boss kill.
Yeah, I don't believe he went for any of the boss kills in any of his previous matches either. I think that was a play by him, if you know what I mean, sort of a percentage play.
I've seen him go for GBK in RTA PB runs, but not
in PB runs, yeah. Like he does know how to do them, and in RTA you're kind of forced into doing it because like, you know, the times are so good. But in a scenario where you just have to win, I think it's a reasonable decision to go or to not go for some of them, if not all of them. Okay, Akisto not showing his splits quite, so we'll just have to see. I do think Seathorne is still in the lead though.
That is a fair point from Mr. Stevenson in chat. Like, Akisto doesn't need a fire flower after special as you do in the normal route. Just because you have already done all the bosses that require it.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier as well, in a lot of runs, or at least before Arc, you would grab that second fire flower in Awesome, and if you're not going for Arc, then typically you would, and Akisto not having to do that. At least that's one of the options. You can also go for it in Groovy, but then you have the Groovy boss kill now as well, so...
Seathorne getting
Seathorne in there. Very nice.
For that door, if you don't do it perfectly, you will miss it, and if you don't jump, then you will just fall to your death.
Yeah, it's pretty risky to say the least. But that might even say a bit about Seathorne's confidence. You know, if he's going for things like that and getting it, it probably feels quite good.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel like I think that Seathorne feels like he needs to gain some time now after that mistake in FY4.
Yeah. I do get the impression that it might be one of those things that's quite hard to get over, but you know, if Seathorne just keeps his mentality together, he should still be able to win this one out. I'd even say it's still Seathorne's to lose right now, even though it
Yeah.
is a lot closer.
It probably is Seathorne's to lose, but as you say, it's not that big of a gap anymore.
Oh yeah, I totally could believe if it switched over now.
And thank you to Third Lava Dolphin for explaining in chats the yellow Yoshi's time saves.
Yeah, thank you TLD. Also just posting in chat that if you want to keep up to date with the tournament, that's a good Discord to join. That is our current tournament Discord.
Seathorne just going through Chocolate Island perfectly so far. I haven't seen a single mistake by him. Of course, what's coming up is the more difficult levels with Chocolate Fort, Chocolate Island 4, and Venice Castle.
Okay, Akisto with a big chance. Will he get it? I believe he's only got the 2 switches left as well.
Yep.
So,
And Seathorne has already gotten all of his switches, so it's the last 2 switches in this race.
ooh. Well, all to play for in Green Switch Palace. Well, Seathorne's going to be grabbing a backup cape now, at the cost of 21 coins.
Well, he still gets to keep the coins, so you
Yeah,
just have to show that
it's
you
fair.
have the money, and then it's fine. It's like the government's providing you with a grant as long as you already have money.
Also, Seathorne will be waiting to 249 or less. I believe 2 people now have went in at 250. Bob and somebody else, I can't remember who it was. If you go in at
Yeah, that's not a
250,
mistake.
you've got to
you want
redo it.
to do. For those that don't know it, if you enter that pipe too early, you will get the secret exit instead of the normal exit. And since they have already done the secret exit, that would be a big time loss.
Yeah, you have to start select out and then wait for another 50 in-game seconds, which is just... Yeah, TM, you're right, it was Xander. Akisto losing Mushroom here, so might even go for the normal exit first and then back to the secret, I believe. I believe that's the play now. He'll pick up the Mushroom coming up, and then pick up the capes.
I actually missed it. What's happened to Akisto to lose his cape?
He just got a weird sort of hitbox whenever he went to stomp the Buzzy, or the whatever you call that enemy. It was just one of those hitboxes, like, it just never really happens. It happened to me in my race as well, where you're like, okay, I thought I landed on that, apparently not.
Yeah. It might be a bit mean to Akisto, but I just want to point out that in one of the runs that became the world record for a while, Akisto actually lost a cape in this level, but after he had grabbed the backup cape, so he didn't lose too much time.
Yeah, he very infamously pointed that out in his comment for that run as well. Akisto considering the backup mushroom, but just teasing us. Yeah, so as predicted, going for the normal exit, then back to the secret.
Yeah, and that means that he can get the cape in the next time through instead and fly up to the secret exit, which is a lot quicker than going with the block, like getting the wine and then just climbing up there.
Also, I believe this is the 3rd exit. Oh, he's going... smart. I forgot he has his exit. Okay,
I think
well, that's a nice
that's
bonus.
slower in a way though, because that's just extra overworld movement and transactions.
Yeah, to be fair, like, even though I was kind of swayed there for a second, I do think that's a bad play, like you say, because he can just... I mean, it's a super safety play, let's put it that way, but he does have a kit for free here.
And meanwhile, Seathorne is just doing Chocolate Force perfectly. Really nice.
Though I suppose the bonus for that is he is going to have a backup cape where he wouldn't have had one, you know, he didn't do that. He'll literally only have one cape.
Yeah, that is
Or
true.
you could just get loads of capes here, of course. Ah, Akisto! All those beautiful capes
Well,
gone
he
to
wouldn't been
waste.
able to get all of those capes without having a cape from before.
He could, well, I don't know if he was super spicy, he could dupe the mushroom and then do that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, duping it with no cape is a lot
Oh,
more
well,
difficult.
yeah. The one frame. I wouldn't put it past Akisto though. Oh, and Akisto going for the slightly more optimal spin fly strat. Nicely done. Getting a 310 on that keyhole. That's pretty nice.
And Ben, here's your last chance to see a jump from Akisto for this race.
Last chance. All or nothing. Yeah, so many
Since
capes.
the meme came from a Swedish person, it would be sad if he didn't get it.
Yeah, that's nicely done.
So yeah, it's a tie in the jump departments for this race.
Yeah, well, he's brought it back. Now the only additional swag is getting the lowest time, so I guess it has to come down to that now. So, should be interesting. And
Well, I
I believe,
wouldn't really call it swag to get a low time. I would say that that's actually the objective of the run.
I believe as well, it's now 3 places in this route where Akisto has went to do the other exit instead of like the optimal overworld movement. Most of them he sort of had to based on the situation, so sort of an interesting route this has ended up being.
And
normally-
Seathorne is now going to Venice Castle, and if he does this perfectly, I would be interested in seeing his split time. Because I haven't seen him do a single mistake so far in this split.
Yeah, that's a very good point. There's almost been nothing to talk about on Seathorne's end because nothing has went wrong. Although missing the final boss, that's the worst.
And for those that don't know, the final boss is the door.
Yeah, doors are impossible. Oh, and a nice room too. It's a bit unfortunate about that door though.
Akisto going for the slightly easier flight in VD3. Seathorne attempted the faster strat for that fight.
Oh! You thought I like yumps? I like that even more. Like, that's my favorite thing. Like, that's like 8 out of 8 yumps, a million
That
orbs. It's so good.
That is the second wall clip for Seathorne in this run.
Oh, really?
He did it for Lemmy as well.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible.
Also, a good thing with
Seathorne, well
this
done.
route for Akisto is that he has a blue shell, so he doesn't have to go for the rough skip. He can just eat the shell and then fly through all of it.
Yeah, VD3 becomes VD3. That was horrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Unforgivable.
I'm just gonna sit there quietly. And once again, I just want to prepare everyone, like, if you don't like loud noises, be ready to turn down your volume in a little bit, because we are going to have a orb coming up. Not from me, but Ben is going to do his normal orb sound. Yeah, meanwhile Akisto is going to enter Lemmy's castle, and let's just hope that Medikoopa is going to be nice to him. And Seathorne getting hit, but chooses to continue to swim forward before grabbing Yoshi, which still lets him get the despawn of the first Boo Ring. And this is a good point from Stiverson in chat. Because of the score that Seathorne has, he's gonna get pretty much as much lag as you can get in this section. And there he got the 1 million points. I don't know if you paid attention, but you can actually see the difference in lag just from getting 1 million points instead of having.
Thankfully he had enough to tip it over though. Yeah. Oh, that was a dodgy orb. I'll just put it that way.
So you're not going to just say your orb. I think that's the first time.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends. I mean, Truman totally outworked me the other night, so...
Well, that's why you need to one-up him.
Seathorne going through VOB1, one of my favorite levels. Only when you've got Yoshi, though. Without Yoshi, the frame rules in this level are kind of unforgiving at times. Got to do a lot of cape cancels.
But yeah, we are closing in on the end of the run.
Very true.
Akisto is just going to finish up Cheese Bridge and Cookie Mountain, and then do the last levels in the Star World that he has skipped. And then these guys are gonna sync up.
Seathorne getting a 62 pipe there, which is pretty good considering he had a couple of bonks. Another level like that kind of is VOB4, where, you know, it's lots of very small optimizations. Very, very fun levels to do completely optimally. Yeah, this is still super close. I'm loving this. Only a couple of exits left from both of them. Seathorne, it's now his turn to go for hopefully a very sexy slide.
Yeah,
Going
he's
for this
going for the door
flight.
flights.
Kind of low,
He
but
gets it.
it goes down. Nicely done.
So yeah, he went for the same strat that Akisto did and both got it. And gets the sexy slide. Well done.
And nicely adjusted from Seathorne as well. Again, quite low. Could have very easily went into that last boo. And he had a massive recovery in one of his other matches.
Just to clear the things up in chat, Akisto have done Larry. So in Value Bowser, just have Value Bowser 4, and then they're also synced up.
Oh, he's done Larry? Interesting.
Yes.
Oh wait, of course, yeah. I've seen that. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Even closer than I thought. Very interesting. Again, I think Seathorne maybe still has the lead. Soda Lake is pretty long.
Yeah, I think that Seathorne is like an exit ahead of Akisto.
Yeah, for sure. But it's definitely going to come down to VOB2 Secret Fort. These are big levels. Lots of pressure.
Do you think that our runners are going to attempt the sandbar clip?
I will tell you in about 5 minutes. It just depends how close it is, and it depends if they're watching. Now, I know Seathorne's watching, and Akisto is sort of 50-50. If he's being smart, he'll be watching, and I think for that reason that he is watching.
Yeah, like if Seathorne knows that he's ahead, then
Yeah.
I do not expect him to go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because dying to sandbar loses more than it would save to get it.
I mean, if he was more than 10 seconds ahead, he definitely shouldn't go for it, and I believe he's going to be 10 seconds ahead at least, considering the rest of this goes okay, which it should. Castle 7 is pretty tough, but we'll see.
And I'm going to trust the knowledge of LinkedIn in chat. And say that Akisto probably won't go for sandbar.
Yeah, I think if it was completely tied, what Eldad says is correct. I mean, even if it wasn't, I think Akisto makes the play where he says, let the other guy go for it. And I know he's done that in the past. So I actually do agree with Eldad there. But I don't know if it was enough to get you the lead. That's where it could be interesting.
But yeah, Seathorne is now going to do Larry's Castle, and after that he has done all the exits that Akisto have done. So then we can tell properly how far ahead he is of Akisto.
Damn, dude, this is close. This is close. Oof. Well, Seathorne just one level before the roots sync up. Akisto with this and then 3 more, one relatively short one. But then again, Seathorne does still have the cutscene. Seathorne a bit low as well. Okay, nicely.
And he needs to get this level, which isn't the easiest thing. Akisto did mess up a bit in Larry's Castle, but
Yeah.
it seems like Seathorne will make. Ooh,
Okay, Seathorne just pulling out of there. That's definitely the best
that
idea.
was a mean Magic Koopa though. It was really in the way for him.
And even though that last Magic Koopa was even worse, somehow he got through there in one piece. I'm very surprised, honestly. But it looks like Seathorne will have that slim lead as predicted. This is crazy.
Yes, since like Akisto needs to do Value Bowser 4 normal exits, and then he's synced up again. So
Oh, crap, I forgot about VOB4, honestly, I did. So I was about to say, okay, he's just got to put this key in the keyhole, and then we're going. But, yeah, with that normal exit, this is a bit more convincing for Seathorne. Because look how close this would have been if not for that other exit.
yeah, but with that other exit, it feels like Seathorne is at least like 30-40 seconds ahead.
Okay, at this point, Seathorne would be a complete madman to go for Sandbar. Absolutely no need for it. Just take the free cycle skip. Get out of there with a win.
Yeah, this is the moment of truth. Really go for it.
Well, he didn't reveal the wings, which almost implies to me that he's not going for it.
Seems to set up for it though. And
Wow.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
not sure.
I think that he
I'm not
actually
sure.
skipped on it, but I'm not sure.
I'm gonna say that he did skip on it as well. Has to. He just has to. If not, he's asking for trouble. At this point though, if Akisto's still watching, knows that he's like this far behind, what's there to lose?
Yeah, like since like it's the same situation now as in most of the race. He needs to depend on Seathorne doing some mistakes to be able to catch up.
Actually, you know what? If I was Akisto, I won't say that because that would be my decision. I don't want to influence anything. I'll say afterwards.
That's the point of being a commentator, though, cursing them or making them take bad decisions.
Well, okay. I think if I was as good as Akisto, I think I'd still probably not go for it and just hope that Seathorne has a mistake in Valleyfort. I think that's probably more likely than a sandbar being significant.
We can now clearly see that Akisto is basically one sandbar behind Seathorne, and Akisto did not go for sandbar.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not likely to skip the whole sandbar. But Seathorne starting nicely here.
Yeah, keeps his flight. Will he go for Crusher Skip? Yes, he does, and he gets it.
Beautifully done. And pulling it back just at the end, he would be mad to go for anything extra. But yeah, it looks like Seathorne's going to wrap this up. Very nicely done. There would have been a bit of nerves on Seathorne's side and for him to pull that off at the end. Very well done.
Yeah, but the only thing that could stop him now is a death to Bowser. And I can't really see that happen to someone like Seathorne.
Yeah, probably not. Although if it happened, it would be interesting.
Like, not with 2 capes and big of enough lead that you don't need to be nervous.
Yeah. 2 capes and 2 pity shrooms.
Yeah, it's like, it's not stressy here.
But it looks like Seathorne will be pulling off another 124 if this cape kill goes well. Which is very, very impressive.
Meanwhile, Akisto is having a really nice value Bowser 4. And the first cycle of Bowser done. 2 left, and the next hit is the ball skip hit, which, if done correctly, can skip Bowser dropping one of the bowling balls that he's going to drop really soon. Meanwhile, Akisto is also entering the Bowser fight, so yeah, a death from Seathorne now would put Akisto in the lead. But yeah, he only has 1 cycle left, and I do not expect him to fail this.
Well, it's always good to see both players in the Bowser fight at least. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, like, unfortunately, the mistake from Akisto in the beginning just did cost a little bit too much time. You can't really afford to do those kinds of mistakes on this, like, against an opponent of this quality.
Well, big congrats to Seathorne on the 124.52 and securing that win. Very nicely done, Seathorne.
GG, congrats on the
GG.
win.
Akisto not too far behind though. Finishing up nicely in Bowser here. But yeah, Seathorne, I'm sure after that FOI4 you were wondering if that was going to be a theme, I'm sure. Because that was pretty spooky.
Akisto killing one of the bowling balls with a slide. Always
Yeah,
nice
that
to see.
was so cool as well. Nice swag from Akisto. Let me see if Seathorne wants in here, because it could be interesting to have a little chat with him. As well, Akisto is more than welcome to join afterwards. It'd be wonderful to hear from him.
And it seems like Seathorne is joining us. And Akisto, as we said, if you want to join in for some interviews.
Hello.
Oops, my mic is muted. You, big congrats to Akisto on the 126.08. Seathorne, welcome.
That was an interesting race.
Did
I just have to start
seriously-
off with the pipe.
Yeah.
Why and what happened?
Start that.
That's like at least the 3rd time I've done that. That pipe is so annoying. It's in the worst spot. Well, first of all, I should have grabbed the cape, and I tried, but I was like just a couple pixels too far right or something, and just missed it. And if you miss that one, of course, it turns into a different power up, and you can't wait it out because it turns into a cape only when it's back in the pit. So you're pretty much screwed if you miss that cape. And because like right before that pipe, there's a Lakitu that you can see, Lakitu that you can see off to the right, and he's like really close to another pipe. So your instinct is, oh, I'm just gonna duck jump under him, but you can't duck jump because you just go into the pipe.